Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? I am still here. This is Larry Jones. Listen, hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. We're hanging out with the chart go themselves. Stocks with Josh. Say hello to the
Hey
people.
guys, yeah, it was an interesting week how things concluded. We had the Fed rate decision and comments, and then a bunch of big tech earnings and a lot of volatility. And I'll just say, Larry, that a lot of the rips were sold or faded by the time we got to Friday.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Good, good open. Hey, good people. So we're going to talk about three particular stock on today. We also had a PPI that came out
Yes.
with all of the noise that was overlooked, and then we had the Fed pick by the president. And I always say after the Fed decision, we need 48 hours, and Friday generally tells the story.
And that PPI was pretty rough. It was
Yes.
almost twice as bigger than expected, almost 2.5 times bigger.
Yep. And
Sticky inflation.
yes, its PPI showed that inflation is rising. Producers Price Index. It measures the rate of change that producers produce. Services and products that are produced. So before CPI, Consumer Price Index, things have to be manufactured or produced. So Producers Price Index and then Consumers Price Index. So we measure the rate of change of products produced, and then we measure the rate of change products consumed. So you'll get the two separate. That's important. All right, so we're going to talk about the fintech space. Financial companies are similar to banking. Some of these companies, they find loans for you, and they've been getting the smackdown for a while. And we're going to go over these three. Okay, so the first we're going to deal with is a company called Affirm, ticker symbol AFRM. We can go right to the charts and show you guys. All right, so you're going to notice that you have a big red bar there. Josh was so kind to draw that vertical line. Now, what happened on the 9th? That's when the president of these United States said that he would like to put a 10% cap on the interest rate that banks can charge or financial institutes can charge. And ever since he made that announcement, Affirm has been falling. And also, all other fintech companies have been falling based on that. Now, Josh, give us a few minutes and talk technically what's happening with the charts. And I have two more for you guys.
Yeah, well, technically, I was tracking SoFi, and that's one that I've liked, and Affirm is a great one too. But there really was a strong breakdown. They had gotten overly heated, and so you could say that just the slightest potential negative news had to get priced in as a take profit round. And it doesn't by any means mean that these aren't going to be successful companies. But technically, we've seen a pretty good breakdown, and we're seeing what's referred to as expansion to the downside along with pretty heavy selling volume. And when you get those, it denotes direction, and the direction right now is south, Larry.
Yep. So me, I'm long because I was up in a firm as much as 200%. So I'm still holding. Actually, I'm looking for a place of accumulation more because I'm long. At the end of this video, I'm going to explain why I'm long. So remember, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. It depends on your purchase price. Let's move to the next stock. Let's go to PayPal.
PayPal been pain trade
Yes.
for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yep. And so if we put a vertical line on the 9th, so let's grab a vertical line, and there it is on the 9th. Now, we were already in a downtrend. He has his time frame on the daily. We were already in a downtrend, but on the 9th, it just continued down because it is suffering from the same thing as Affirm is. What do you have to say about this
Well,
technically?
I have messed with PayPal here and there, and the last time I was really actively interested in this and kind of looking more at the bull case was when we were coming up through this giant cup with the expectation that we might, come back up to the top, make a cup and handle, find support around 78.50.
Mm-hmm.
But I warned that if we ever break this structure,
Mm-hmm.
that we basically will lose that whole up story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did break the structure. I had also warned at the time, Larry, that 66 was the critical threshold
Mm-hmm.
that it couldn't afford to go beneath. Otherwise, the up story was completely off the table.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, it broke 66, and we're all the way down here to 52.
Mm-hmm.
Now, having said that, I know a lot of people have wanted, including myself, to participate in this trade,
Right.
because, there's nothing wrong with PayPal. They make
Mm-hmm.
great money. They're
Yes.
growing. They have alliances with OpenAI and Google, and
Yep.
a lot of us use PayPal and
Mm-hmm.
love it as a service. But
Mm-hmm.
this Wall Street's turned its back on the shares.
Yes.
But I'll say one last thing about the RSI.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, right now, every time this thing has hit this oversold here on the weekly, we're looking at weekly candles.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an opportunity to buy every time. So right here, we hit the weekly on the RSI getting oversold.
Yep.
And where did it go? Well, it went from 50 all the way up to 92. It went up almost 100%.
Yep.
Here, we got oversold, and this one had a muted move, but it
Mm-hmm.
went from 56 up to 78. That was a
Mm-hmm.
bumpy ride, but it still did go up after getting oversold. Here
Mm-hmm.
we are again, right? And if
Yep.
you go back here, let me just get you all of them in view real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Even back here, when it got oversold on the weekly, it went from around 82 up to 312. That was a 200% move.
Yes.
And then this was a much uglier downturn.
Yes.
When things really began to get volatile and break out. And this would be about the only time in its history.
Mm-hmm.
These 4 times, it was a good idea to buy. This time, it was really a shift, or what they refer to, Larry, as a change of character.
Yeah. Can you go back to the cup and handle, show the cup,
Yes.
and I want you to put a line at the bottom of the cup. Yep, at the very bottom of that cup. It's probably around the $50 mark.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
the very, very,
40,
very bottom is,
yeah.
$50.
$50. Now, what would you say if the price came back down to the bottom of the cup?
I am not, my journey with PayPal is not over.
Mm-hmm.
I have been disappointed in the times in which I have given it a chance. I was able to get in on these 2 pumps,
Mm-hmm.
accumulating around 66 to 72. We accumulated,
Yep.
and we were able to get out here around 78. Having said that, I'm disappointed in the fact that we clearly have not reversed the downtrend.
No, we haven't.
But I will tell you that if we hit this level again,
Yep.
and we hit a double bottom at 50, it would be hard not to take a little nibble on this.
That's that was my point. All right. So now we're going to go straight to SoFi. We're going bang, bang, bang. We're going straight to SoFi.
All right, let's pop it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you know what? Let's deal with the traffic trader. Put the camera back on me for a second.
All right.
And I want you guys to know that what you're looking at is the traffic trader, and we're going to take it off, not right now. This is the traffic trader. If you want to follow me and use the traffic trader like a lot of my followers are, this is in Money Moves. It will be the top link below. Again, it will be the only link below. Okay. And when you come into WAP, it is housed there, and that's the only way you can activate it. Let's go to PayPal. Thank you, sir.
SoFi?
I'm sorry, SoFi. Yes. So he has that vertical line right there. Remember, that's when the president's announcement started hitting the wire. All right. Now, he was teasing it before then, but that's when it really came out that he was going to put a 10% cap. And that's going to be the rest of this video. Now, on a longer time frame, he has it on the daily with the traffic trader. This is called Larry Jones Traffic Trader. You get it free when you are part of my community. You could see that it printed a red light right there. And that red light means that it was, and that's the daily, that it was about to go down. And
Can I comment,
yes,
Larry,
please do.
on your indicator?
Yes.
Right. So it printed that red light perfectly, right? But the very next day,
Yep.
it had a little bit of a green candle.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to expect that you can see a little red in your trade.
Exactly.
Right. But if your reason is
Mm-hmm.
that you are trusting a indicator
Mm-hmm.
and a process.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that green was a payday because you could
Right.
have loaded in those puts to get even a better move down.
Exactly. Now, with this indicator, good people, what it's telling you, like I've been teaching this indicator, is that it's in the right lane. The theory behind this traffic trader is if you could drive, you could trade. Now, it being in the right lane, Josh, or under the dotted line means that it's still bearish.
Hmm.
If that green candle had printed above the line,
Yep.
that means we could be having a move higher. So if you go to the green line before, you see that it wicked
Yep.
above the line. And
Yep.
so,
Had a big move there.
exactly. So that dotted line is somewhat like a VWAP,
Hmm.
right? And it was showing that no, it was a fake out. If you really understand this indicator, which I teach on how to use it. Now, where let's take the trader off, and I want you to talk about where you would accumulate SoFi at.
So in a long-term view of SoFi, you can see that it's been really trending higher. This is a volatile company that does have pretty significant pivots. And so, you don't want to be chasing it after it's already had a big move, right?
Right.
And this, I put the Fibonacci on this level here, which
Mm-hmm.
was an impulse move. And you can also see that it got over or outside the channel, which is sort of when it got overheated and it's
Mm-hmm.
come back into the channel. And the Fibonacci will draw a modest pullback to around 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have the inside of the channel. Now, if this stays on the inside of the channel and bounces off this middle area,
Which is around
which around
1990.
that
So
1990,
let's just say around $20. That's what
yep,
1990 ish means. Go ahead.
yeah, then we're going to be watching for this to continue in 2026, albeit there's no restrictive policy coming out of Washington. But I will say this: yes, it does appear to me that going into next week, by Friday, the end of next week,
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine, even if we were to get a green candle, okay, the fact that we've broken into structure like this,
Yeah.
right? Even if, and we had a strong down red day,
Mm-hmm.
for me, a green day at the moment is an opportunity to continue to catch this down move based on
Uh,
some of the things that are coming out of Washington.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now let's just discuss some of the things that we discussed earlier. Okay. And that is, why are these fintechs going down like this, right? And go to the chart where we had them stacked on Google.
Yes.
All right. And I want you guys to see this. Now, I look for opportunity, as you guys know, in the red. You could see we have it stacked here: Affirm, PayPal, SoFi, Upstart. Okay. Some of them look for loans, housing loans, and it's all AI driven. Affirm is like buy now, pay later. So these have just variable differences, right? But they all make their money off of interest. And so you could see that they are all down massively, double digits. So here's what I'm thinking.
So big move
It's
in a short period of time.
exactly at some point we're going to look at some of these ranges. He just went over key points, and you're going to say I should have been at least nibbling if it wasn't the bottom. Okay, and there's buy zones, not an exact buy price, but buy zones. One of them, I think it was PayPal. You had a buy zone
Yes.
in there, and that means to just accumulate. You may buy some today, and then tomorrow it's going to be red, but you don't freak out. You just continue to buy a little bit more. And then when you get the position to where you want it, you just wait it out.
Can I give another rule of thumb?
Please.
I
Yeah.
always tell friends and family, people that may follow me in a
Mm-hmm.
trade, and if they get in too heavy, a big part of being consistent and growing generational wealth is to have a risk strategy as well as, just being careful, right? So I'll tell them this: if they get in too heavy, let's say I tell them about a stock, right?
Right.
Right now it's SoFi, and they go, okay, I got some money to invest. I got $10,000. I'm going to drop it on SoFi on Monday. Okay. What I always tell people is if it continues to drop and you cannot double and triple your position, then your initial position size
Good.
was way too big.
I teach the same thing, but not just like that. I like the way you said that. Say that again.
If you cannot double or triple your position and you have the joy and conviction to do so, then your initial position size was too big.
Note to self. Okay, listen, guys, that's gold right there. That's worth everything right there, because this is a process. Again, if you're trying, do you want to be rich? Are you trying to get rich tomorrow? I'm sorry. Are you trying to get rich today, or are you trying to be wealthy tomorrow?
I like it.
Because the people that are trying to get wealthy tomorrow, there's a 99% chance that you could. All you need is consistency and patience. But the ones that's trying to get rich today, there's a 99.99%, like a lottery, that you're not gonna make it, and you're gonna lose money. Here's what I want to say in closing. If this cap does not happen, you're going to see some of these rebound. I'm also going to say that this is midterms, elections. So there's going to be a lot of promises on both sides that they know is never going to come to fruition. It's never going to materialize. And I think at best, they're going to say, here's $1,000 credit card, and it has a 10% limit on it.
That's a creative idea there.
Yes.
You might be right about that.
And that's what they're going to do. And it's not, because this is the number one way that they make their money, including banks, all banks. The number one way that they make their money is literally off of interest. And so as a business, and we know that these banks have deep pockets, and some of his friends are bankers.
Yeah.
He had to borrow money to build the skyscrapers. So you best believe that this is not going to be.
UBS is going to call him up and say,
Exactly.
Donald, what you doing?
What you
here,
doing,
man?
Donald? Come on, Don. Work with me. All right. So if you enjoyed this, leave me a comment. We're going to say thank you to Josh for hosting us and having us in his studio. Anything you want to say to the people?
No, I think it's a great video. And I think the big takeaway from this is not to buy Monday, right? You could consider long-term investing on Monday, but I think this is definitely one to pay attention to, because the big reason they're pulling off, in my opinion, is twofold, Larry. One, they got a little bit too hot. And two, they're being driven down by a fundamental story that really won't hurt their future.
Good stuff. And we're going to leave it right there. Remember, go to the description. Come join us. This traffic trader is making us money on scalp trades and swing trades and long-term investments. Good people, come and join, learn, and earn with us. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.
Peace.